Have you ever read a story that sent chills down your spine? A story that lingered long after you turned the final page? Or, watched a film that left you checking the locks and shadows of your own home just to be sure? What is it about these stories, these images that burrow under our skin and stay with us? The truth is, the most effective horror doesn't rely on cheap jump scares or gore. Nope. It seeps in slowly, through atmosphere, through suggestion. It's the unseen presence in the corner of your eye, the whisper of a name in a silent room. It's the dread that tightens its grip on your chest with each passing sentence, each frame of film. Today, we're going to explore the craft of creating that atmosphere, of building tension that crawls beneath the surface and resonates long after the story is over. These are the techniques used by the masters of horror, the architects of fear, and I'm going to share them with you. Let's start with the foundation of any good horror story, the setting. Think of the iconic haunted houses in literature and film. The Overlook Hotel, Hill House, the Bates Motel. What do they have in common? Isolation, darkness, decay. These places are more than just backdrops. They become characters themselves, exuding an unsettling energy that seeps into the very bones of the story. A dilapidated Victorian mansion shrouded in mist and whispering with the ghosts of its past is inherently more frightening than a brightly lit modern apartment. Choose settings that feel forgotten, places where shadows linger a little too long and secrets seem to cling to the walls. Now let's step inside our haunted house. How do we make the reader feel the chill down their spine, the prickle of unease on the back of their neck? The answer lies in sensory details. Don't just tell your reader the house is cold. Let them feel the dampness clinging to their skin as they navigate the darkened hallways. Describe the musty scent of decay, the way floorboards groan under the slightest weight. Let them hear the wind rattling the windows like skeletal fingers tapping to come inside. These details create an immersive experience, pulling your reader into the heart of the scene and making the horror palpable. Silence, in horror, can be as powerful as any scream. The absence of sound can be deafening, pregnant with anticipation. It forces your reader to lean in, to hold their breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop, for the creak of a floorboard or the whisper of a voice. And when you do introduce sound, use it strategically. The sudden clang of a bell in the dead of night, the unsettling lullaby sung off-key, the drip, drip, drip of water in an otherwise silent house. These auditory details can be jarring, heightening the tension and keeping your reader perpetually on edge. So who is telling your story? I mean, really, can you trust them? Are they reliable? Or are their perceptions totally clouded by fear, by guilt, or maybe even madness? An unreliable narrator? Well, they bring this sneaky little element of doubt into everything. It's like this creeping suspicion that something just isn't quite right. Maybe your narrator sees things in the shadows that no one else does. Maybe they hear voices, whispering their name when there's no one around. Or maybe, just maybe, they feel a presence, always there, even when they're supposedly alone. That kind of ambiguity? It keeps the reader on edge, wondering what's real and what's not. It blurs the line between sanity and madness in a way that's honestly kind of chilling. So, we live in a world that's totally obsessed with instant gratification. But true horror, it really takes its time. Think about the slow, deliberate pacing of classic horror films like The Shining or Rosemary's Baby. The dread doesn't hit all at once. It builds gradually, layer upon layer until the tension is just almost unbearable. You don't need to rush to reveal your hand. Instead, you kind of want to plant these little seeds of doubt and unease. Let your reader feel the character's growing paranoia, that creeping sense that something is off, but they just can't quite figure out what it is. That slow burn, it creates this anticipation, a feeling that something terrible is like totally inevitable, and that makes the final scare so much scarier. Sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we never really see, like just a glimpse of a shadow in the corner of your eye, or a whisper you think you heard but can't be sure, or a cold spot in a room that totally shouldn't be there. These little hints at something supernatural, they can be way more unsettling than any full-on in-your-face monster. You should let the reader's imagination do the heavy lifting. Just give them enough to spark their nightmares, to make them wonder what's hiding in the darkness just beyond where they can see. The best horror stories, I think, totally get that real fear is super personal. They dig into our deepest anxieties, the stuff we don't even like to admit we're afraid of. So, explore your characters' minds, like, what are their traumas? What secrets are they hiding? What keeps them up at night staring at the ceiling? If you create characters with real depth and vulnerability, your readers will care about them, and that makes their fear feel real too. Then, when those characters start to unravel, when their carefully built worlds begin to fall apart, that's when the horror really hits hard. It's not just scary, it's inescapable. Alright, now that you've got a better idea of what makes a story truly chilling, I totally encourage you to try out these techniques in your own writing. Just remember, the goal isn't only to scare someone, it's to unsettle them, to stick in their mind long after they've finished reading. Some of the creepiest stories are the ones that leave space for the reader to imagine the worst. What hides in the shadows is usually way scarier than anything we see in the light. So hey, what are some of your favorite ways to build a creepy vibe? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from other storytellers and explore the spooky side of creativity together. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.